So it's almost gone.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were going to have half a pallet left over.
No. I mean, we'll have leftover for sure. But
Yeah.
nothing like what we were expecting.
What did we order, 70K?
That sounds right. Mason said that they sent one more because order didn't go through, and then it did go through it, but we didn't pay for it. So, yeah, we ended up with a lot of extra.
Instagram. You're not going to do us dirty like that, are you? Hold on a second. Morning, folks. All right, well, let's hope for the best with Instagram, Jack.
I'd have to.
Well, we'll figure that out later. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Nick Slavik. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company, also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It is a weekly live YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram show where we talk about the life of a master craftsperson and a paint business entrepreneur. And I added a whole bunch of new links in the show notes here. So through the PCA, we have programs for free membership for veterans. There's a link up in there. We have links to scholarships for the events. You want to go for a full ride to the events for free. Link is in there. There's a link to register for all the events. It's almost fall. PCA in Espanol, our Spanish-speaking conference, Women in Paint, Residential, and Commercial are all coming up, plus EXPO in February of 2026. That's going to be starting as soon as the summer rush in the painting industry is over. And then there is a link for business accelerator training as well, too, where Sherwin-Williams will pay for half of all your training. So lots of resources in there. Look those up. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get down to, and I will apologize to people on Instagram. It's very likely that you guys are seeing a portrait mode with barely seeing Jack and I. I don't know how this stuff looks, but we are broadcasting in widescreen cinematic mode because there's two of us here today. So I'm going to pop up Instagram real quick here and just see what everybody's, see what people are experiencing here. And then we're going to get to it, guys. We got special guest Jack Gurman here. All right. Hold tight, everybody. It's not showing that I'm live yet on here.
Grab
your phone real quick. See if you got it. In a few seconds, we're going to find out if Coordinator Jack actually follows me on the internet here or not.
I do.
All right. Come on, internets. Yeah.
I got half of you.
There, it's working.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Okay, awesome. So we are getting full cinematic mode on Instagram and other things. So you guys post all your questions here. I think what we're going to end up doing is, we got lots of familiar names. Oh, Jack joined as well, too. So
I do my best. All
right, folks, let's, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give me 30 seconds to work on a split screen here so I can see Facebook and Instagram comments, and we'll see what we can get going here through the magic of technology. All right, I think we'll be good. So I'm watching hey, Noah Stocker, previous apprentice here and actually working with Harpeth Painting down in Nashville, friends of mine now. Doing that. Jack Tuma.
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
Awesome.
Jack, how's it going, man? Ryan Pettis Painting. Oh, we got a whole bunch. Oh, look at somebody named Jamie Gurman.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
I think your parents sent me that's your parents. Yeah. Somebody named Mason.
Yeah, he told me he'd be watching.
Cabe 06 has joined as well too. Okay.
Yeah.
Your parents sent me a really nice picture of your dad wearing one of my hats.
Yeah, he was branded.
Dude, I love it. I love it, guys. I will bless you guys into the bonus system if we get some jobs.
Perfect.
All right, everybody. We are going to talk with Jack today about his experience here. So Jack is sort of and our policy is we typically don't give people compliments to their face, but I think this is a necessary evil today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, which is when I'll give you a compliment, always temper it with, I could have done better.
Absolutely.
Right?
Every time.
So we're going to talk about Jack's history, his history with me, and the epitome of what we call the decent human being system, because you are literally the prototype of what we're looking for, the archetype of somebody that we find and mold. You already have a good base, and then we apply all of the things that we have learned over the years. And exactly. And then we offer very unique experiences for those who bleed beige, as we say around
that's
here.
Right. That's right.
And I love Jack because he works randomly throughout the time. And I showed up today and he's in his beige uniform in the office. Nobody else is working. So let's get to it here, folks. Any questions, any comments you have, post them down here. I will turn these on here. All right. Looks like we got some feedback from Facebook. Everything's looking good. We are testing out some mics as well, too. So let us know, guys, if everything sounds good. But we're going to jump right into this. I can be very long-winded. Jack, how old are you?
19.
19. Where did you grow up?
Yeah, so started out in Lonsdale, and then for the past 13 years, I've been in Lakeville.
So Lonsdale is about 15 minutes south of here.
Yep.
Lakeville is about 25 minutes north of here, give or take, depending on which end. Lakeville is one of the fastest growing communities in the entire nation.
Definitely.
And it is our number one town that we market to because of that demographic. So we used artificial intelligence between leads and completed jobs where we have focused on, it's one of our towns that we market to. And in fact, the street team, which you are the captain of, we focused on that. That was our first town this year, was it not?
Second. Prior Lake was first, but Lakeville had a lot of great feedback.
Prior Lake was, and we got some of our best results. So we're going to talk about, so Jack came to me in high school. We taught him the coordinator position. He took over from somebody in the coordination position. We have done lots of fun experiments. We sort of piloted a street team, our scooter patrol out there doing door hangers, and we're teaching you project management and estimating. And we're going to get into that as well, too.
Perfect.
I lovingly call Mason and Jack my DOGE team here, laughingly, because these guys have empathy, which I think the other DOGE team lacks. But these guys are, Department of Government efficiency. These guys are Department of Revenue efficiency around here. They come to me with ideas to create revenue and take care of our clients better. And then we experiment with it. We ideate, and we actually put a budget. We put together almost a $40,000 budget for you guys this summer to go get some stuff done, and we have all the results. So, okay, you grew up around here. You went to New Prague High School, which is a school that I went to. When did you first hear about me? When did we first meet? Give us the origin story.
Yeah, so I had no idea about Nick or the company until I signed up for a class called Small Business Management, and it was an off-campus class that some entrepreneur out in New Prague would take their time voluntarily and teach a select student basically the management side of running a business as well as the entrepreneur side. And it was very simple at first. I walked into the company. Nick greets me with a smile and very welcoming. We kind of hit it off from there very quickly.
You were open to the universe,
definitely,
this sort of thing. There's some people that love. So when I was in high school, we used to call this work release, like in prison, where it's like, listen, you have either done all your classes or there's nothing left in this school. Right. Just go out into the world and be at peace. But this is different, though. This is not go down to the machine shop and sweep the floor.
Correct.
This is a small business class where I want to say it was. I'm trying to think who would have been the teacher.
Oh boy,
Shooty?
No, it wasn't Shooty.
Was it Jane?
I really don't remember.
I didn't
interact with them.
I've been trying to break into the schools, especially my alum, for decades.
Yep.
And finally, I made some headway, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, they're like, "Nick, do you want to take on an apprentice from school? A couple hours a week, send them down to you." And it's like, man, we are just going like crazy.
It was me?
Yeah. So, you were my first one, I believe. And they're like, hey, we're just going to send you somebody kind of as like an apprentice. Yeah. We want to get them amongst there, maybe show them around a little bit. And honestly, one of the most interesting things is part of it, I can't remember where, but it dabbles between like, listen, if you just want them to like sort paperwork or do this and that. And I was like, well, listen, that's awesome, but I'm not looking for slave labor.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like I feel like, we dabble in the
Yep.
decent human being and apprenticeship thing. I don't want an awesome young human to just show up and sort paperwork and clean the shop.
And that's another thing you look for is if I'm going to bring somebody in, I'm going to do it right.
You're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And what a unique opportunity to be
it's great.
gifted time with a person that is hand selected by the high school. So were you a junior or senior?
I was a senior.
You're a senior?
Yep. Fall semester of my senior year.
Yep.
And then you brought me into the company as an actual official employee a month later, 2 months later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The hell, I started paying you that early?
Yeah, I guess so.
So evidently you made a good impression.
That's
so
right.
Initially it was more just like I can almost think back to our initial conversations where I pulled up some stuff to show you. I probably showed you an org chart of the company.
Oh, it was insane.
I showed you how we did Ask a Painter, the
Yep.
painting company, and my Nightingale Holdings, my real estate, right?
Correct.
And I feel like the impression I got from you was your eyes really lit up when you started seeing
Definitely.
a macro view of business, not
Definitely.
just like, hey, we take a brush and we put it on a house and people pay us for it.
Right.
I think you really lit up when you saw like, oh, there's an entrepreneurial ecosystem here.
Look at all the things. I mean, this was school's one thing. School's great, but at the same time, this is a whole different ballgame for me. That this is interesting. You know?
Agreed. And I think we have a similar personality. And
Very much.
We had a long car ride yesterday. We were talking about some of the pros and cons of the type of personality that you and I have.
Yep.
But I had a similar experience in school too, where I was your B+ A- student. I put forth no effort. I got things done very quick, and I kind of just wanted to be an adult. I wanted to get out there and just do stuff on my own. And I felt like
we're the same.
Yeah, we hit it off right away with that. And I thought, what a unique experience, because my goal with the decent human being theory all the time is, yes, I can teach the highest ends of the craft to people. That's Absolutely. An awesome thing. There's this beautiful transferable skill that AI will never take away, and you will be very valuable. You can do this beautiful art, but also I wanted to give young people the experience that I never got, which is if somebody would have got me in my sophomore year and told me what a business owner or an entrepreneur was, instead of just you go to college and then you become a mid-level manager at Best Buy and you have a cubicle, it's like, fine, all that stuff is good, right?
But
lots of people do it. But I felt this existential angst. And I wanted to do stuff on my own. I wanted to be a 45-year-old person who owned something. When I was in high school. I just wanted to get on with life. I wanted a family, I wanted a house, I wanted a business, but I couldn't express that because I never really saw an example of that, or nobody put their arm around me and was like, hey man, you know, all this like angst, you're fighting your parents, you're fighting your friends, you're fighting your teachers. And it was all just like, I was too immature to like express that I just wanted to be a business owner already.
Yeah. And I think part of it is you didn't have a set mentor at the time.
No.
Right?
Not at all.
And that makes a big difference.
I had nobody to come in and say, hey, man, take a breath, because this angst you feel is going to be a superpower a short 10 years from now. You know?
Just control it now and watch what it can grow.
Exactly. And you know, you need to harness it into some other area of find somebody who's in that season of life to tell you about this stuff and then go forth. And I didn't have this. So I went to the Army. And then I had horrible advice about where to go to college. I squeezed out a good education, but horrible advice. And then, went out and tried to make my way in the world. But all of that could have been short-circuited if somebody would have grabbed me. Mm-hmm. And that's my goal with the high school stuff. When I don't know if you. So I don't even think you saw me come to a classroom and speak. I think literally somebody just said, "Go to this building."
That was it. They gave me an overview of the company. They do painting. That's about all I got. And
good assumption.
Yes, it is. And showed up, and from there, I mean, it was going so well to where you had to have reports sent back to the school of things you were doing. And after they saw how much growth I was having with you, they pretty much told me, "Have at it. You're growing. You're doing."
I think this is covered.
They couldn't do any more with me.
So we talked about the entrepreneurial ecosystem. You didn't even see my presentation, and I kind of gave that 1-to-1 here. Of about how we think about this stuff. You became excited, and did I start having you do some things for the business early on?
So it started. One of the big ones was job costing. I remember you showing me that spreadsheet. Yeah, you're lighting up on this. And at first it was, whoa, this is a lot.
Well, yeah, you're seeing a spreadsheet that's been developed over 8 years
Right.
through the mind of an entrepreneur. It's got things you've never, gross profit.
At 17 years
Yeah,
old,
exactly.
as a senior in high school.
Yeah, labor burden.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is all this?
These are things that business owners don't know about.
Right.
And you're 17.
See, that's the mentorship part that I'm making a big difference with Nick.
We started with job costing for a reason. And
Mhm.
we even talked about job costing yesterday because you were giving me your class layout for this. You're going back to college next week.
Yeah.
To Duluth, Minnesota, the wilderness of northern Minnesota, where
That's
you
right.
will be doing your coordination duties
Yes,
with
I
a
will.
3-monitor setup.
Yes, I will.
You told me you're doing managerial accounting, managerial.
That'll be one of the classes. Yep.
So I have a minor in that, and I didn't know what job costing was. So the thing that I was very interested in is I need you to freaking tell me if your professor teaches you job costing, because literally
Yep.
that's all managerial
First
accounting
guy I
is.
text.
Yeah.
During class, I'll sneak the phone out and yeah,
If you, how long is it a semester?
it'll be a semester.
So you have like September, October, November, and you guys take like 8 weeks off for Christmas or
Well,
something.
you need to.
You guys need a rest after all that hard work.
That's right.
But you have like 3 or 4 months. If you get a month or two into it and that professor has not said job costing, I need a call.
Well, I expect you to be the professor.
I will show up. If they don't say the words job costing, I am going to show up to that classroom
Yep.
and say, listen, all you people,
Yep.
I feel like all you're going to go into business. And if you don't learn this,
If we're in trouble.
like literally job costing was the secret. It unlocked all the secrets of business, and it called me on all of my bullshit.
Definitely.
All these feelings of I'm the best, I charge the most.
Yep.
We make so
Proof.
much money. Yeah.
Here's the proof right here. And that's where we started. I mean,
What first impressions of everything we do here? What surprised you? What was good? What was bad? What was confusing?
oh, the bad. No, I'm just kidding. Surprised was probably how good of a team we have, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I came from a company before you that wasn't ideal for me. And, it was a company I stayed with because I was 14. I wanted to get out in the world and start going, kind of like you.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were telling me about this other job. Yeah, just somebody hired a young person and just squeezed you a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't treat me right. But came to you, and it was, this is what a business can look like. Yeah. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And the work environment, the things that are preached are actually done. I mean, that's a big one as far as just how we run the company, quality over quantity type of business.
Yep.
And that's just something you don't see actually the action side of it. So that would be probably the surprising part, but also a good part, obviously.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Like you can imagine what my TikTok feed looks like. It's building log cabins in the woods. It's protein diets, and it's a lot of people interacting with entrepreneurs and business stuff. And the biggest through line in my TikTok feed is there's so many people that complain about crappy businesses, and crappy businesses like S&P 500 businesses, Fortune 500 businesses, where, it's a cliche of crappy managers. I don't know what they do, but they make my life hell. We have stupid meetings. We have this and that.
Just doesn't add up.
This is the antithesis of all that. Like when I watch that TikTok feed, I'm thoroughly confused of like, really? Is that what it's like out there?
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a corporate job. I don't really know, but evidently it's
people are saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but naturally, without having a corporate job, and I didn't start this as a antithesis to that. It's just naturally how I like to operate. Right. And it turns out it's very much different. So much so that it confuses me when I see these things about why would somebody do that?
Right. That's not how we do things.
Why would you meeting yourself to death?
Yes.
Why would you have these weird reports that you make somebody use that don't get used for it? It's just a weird,
all this extra that doesn't go anywhere.
And the coolest thing is that because we have this existential angst and want to do stuff on our own, we don't have this corporate structure or this chain of command.
Right.
We can just do it.
And we do.
Yeah,
we
exactly. We just do whatever the hell we want.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And most goes good. You're going to have a little trial and error, as we've seen. But that's all part of the moving forward. I'd say going along the good part of things, that's one of my favorite parts here is that Mason and I, for the most part, come to you with ideas. And, okay, what does this look like?
Yeah.
We haven't had a single idea that was shut down, maybe things that were edited.
Yeah.
As it should be. Things need to be revised. And you've had some experience. I've had not nearly as much experience, but I see things from a different point of view sometimes. And the collaboration side is
which is the really
Insane.
good part, because you guys presented a business opportunity that I never would have came up with, because you had fresh eyes on all that stuff. So, and I've been, when you take a step back, you can think about, like, we're going to talk about street team and scooters and door hangers and all that stuff. But one of the things that we've been talking about is not which scooter should I buy. We talk about, we need leads.
Mm-hmm.
How can we get leads?
Yeah.
8 decisions later is what scooters you get. And that's what everybody focuses on.
Exactly.
But the thing that I've been trying to work with you and Mason on is ideas and pitching, and then putting data to the feelings, which is, we should do this. We should get a bunch of young people and do door hangers. It's like,
where's the why?
Yes, but
Yes.
you know what comes next, which is there's a spreadsheet that's attached to this, and you guys need to start making assumptions. And we walked through even the style of spreadsheets. Mason and I were talking about this yesterday, which is, you guys made some spreadsheets with some assumptions, and there were numbers in there that weren't connected to anything else, and they were aggregated. And I said, guys, this is great, except that if I ask you a question that says, well, that's per the summer, what about per month?
Right.
Now you start over. And so we take 9 steps back, and the entrepreneurial experience is we make a modular spreadsheet so that we work through our thoughts. And so that if I ask you 6 questions to justify why you guys want to spend 40 grand, you can say, well, okay, let me just add these cells up, instead of we need to start over completely.
Definitely.
But those types of spreadsheets, you guys even make them in beige, which I'm a fan of.
I'll give a lot of credit to Mason on here, because I know he's on here and he does really good work on that.
You guys have done a really good job with that stuff. And it's a entrepreneurial thought process to put together a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet oftentimes in when I create them for the vision of this company, I often don't even reference them when they're done. It's just a way for me to organize my thoughts in a way, look at the numbers. And sometimes the numbers don't even mean something. It's the trends in the numbers, the size of it compared to other things. And then I use it to make decisions, maybe add some things up and move on. But that's an exercise that I've been working with you guys. And the difference between the first pitch spreadsheet you gave me and what we're operating with now is
yes.
Light years
Kudos
apart.
to Mason on that.
Yep. You guys are doing really good with that. So, okay, so we started with some job costing.
Yeah.
What, I think I was actually doing the coordination duties when you came on.
You were, for the most. It was you and kind of Ian. Because Ian taught me day one.
Yeah, Ian. I think Ian and I pitched in when our coordinator left, and I think we were doing double duty, where Ian would do a shift, I would do a shift, and I would make him do the phone calls.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And so, what was it like working with estimator Ian at that point?
Yeah, it was a lot of advice came from Ian, because he is our veteran in our leadership team. Mm-hmm. He gave me the upfront, here's how we run things. Sometimes it was not harsh, but truthful.
Oh, yeah.
He gave it to me like it should be run, and it was right. And that was a difference maker that I really like with both of the estimators. They hold me accountable on things since I control their calendars.
We've created a really nice system between PM's estimator, coordinator, and me,
Yes.
where we each have hands in each other's things. And when one of us doesn't do our job right, it affects the other. Yeah. That person necessarily will go back and say, you're creating friction. Let's do this. And that's a beautiful little feedback system.
Yep. And every once in a while, I contact the estimators probably once every 2 months or so, saying, hey, guys, I want honest feedback. I want to know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong here. Because if I can set them up to win, we're getting a good lead as a company to move things forward. So you were still in your senior year of high school. Yep. When did you assume full coordination duties, where you were the coordinator, do you think? That was October.
Oh, it was like that. That wasn't that long then.
No.
And so what did between school, like how much time did you spend in school? How much time do you spend here? What was your shifts like? Yeah.
So it turned out nice, because I had some senior privilege classes that I didn't have a class. And that turned into, I'm going to go work for this great company.
So you just came here and hang out.
I mean, it was typically 2 hours a day in kind of that morning section. And then I came to you and said, after school, can I keep it going? And you basically told me to go for it.
Of course, yeah.
So,
so really in within 30 days of you being here, you assumed full coordination for a $3 million painting company.
Correct.
Yep. What's your favorite part about coordination?
Ooh.
Real quick, you think about, I'm going to ask you favorite and least favorite. And we'll always couch it with asterisks if we need to. But Coordination in my company, just to give you guys some background here, and then we'll answer some questions. Coordination is you intake leads. So people call us and go through our website and they ask for estimates. You intake them, you qualify these leads, you schedule the estimates for our estimators, you maintain both of their calendars. They're doing 40 plus estimates a week right now. You give them all the information they need, you populate their calendar, you support them with changes. And then when a job is sold, you are the first person that it goes to. And your primary mission, and we've actually cut down on these duties because of Paint Scout and stuff like this. You used to have to verify scope. You used to have them sign a contract, and you used to have to get them colors. And now your duties are basically, you need colors out of these people.
Yeah.
Because the contract
scope
is signed,
adjustments sometimes. But
scope adjustments. But when they sign the contract, they select their own scope. So 90% of that is done. So really, when a job is sold, it goes back to you. You get colors from them. When you have colors, you assign it to one of our 2 project managers. They each have a queue, and you keep the amounts even, $200,000 to $300,000 a piece at any time, give or take. And then when the job is done, the PMs hand it back over to you. We have our beautiful morning routine where we go through every job of the week. We make a list of completed jobs. We send them to you. And then what do you do? I think there's 3 things you do at the end. What do you do with those completed jobs?
Yeah. So I'll job cost it, make sure numbers are running correctly, fill in the gaps on that. I will invoice everybody. And then get a review out of people.
Reviews. And then pay subs.
Feedback. So yeah.
Yep. So that's it. So Jack has a unique position where there's redundancy in almost every position in this company. You and I are the only ones without redundancy. Correct. Actually, even marketing, I have my own apprentice now. But as ops manager, I have no redundancy. Yeah. And as coordinator, you have no redundancy. Uniquely, we are the 2 people that have no counterpart.
So I think the same.
Job. Yep, exactly. So Jack goes back to doing the job costing, the invoicing, and that. So we'll hand you 20 to 22 jobs a week at the peak of summer. How long does it take you to job cost, invoice, send out reviews, and pay subs each week for about 20 to 22 jobs?
I would give or take 4 to 5 hours if I'm really locked in on stuff and nothing.
No distractions.
Nothing.
Yep. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. So we actually got a benchmark early on. I was trying to figure out, for an average job, how long does it take to do that process? And it's minutes.
Yeah.
It's minutes, because we have done this beautiful iteration and constant improvement, one of our core values, which is you've given advice to our project managers about how we organize folders so that paint invoices are a certain way so that you can grab them, and the estimates are laid out in a certain way. And Paint Scout has been insanely valuable to how this company operates. Made our estimators' lives easy, PM easier, and your life easier. And we're moving slowly towards more of a single source of truth, which is good. But you've given feedback along the way of let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. You captured 3 reviews alone this last week, which is awesome. I review the job costing once every couple of weeks just to make sure we have everything good. Typically, the only errors I find in job costing are when our spreadsheet has an error in it, or when we have some weird project where something is missing from the PM or estimator side, I feel like.
Typically,
But you typically don't miss an entire paint order, give or take, things like that.
I like how you don't blame me on here. This is good.
You did miss 1 gallon of cover stain once, and I shamed you for it and they made a shirt for you.
I should have wore that shirt today.
Never forget.
Yeah, never forget that cover stain.
1 gallon, $18. It still matters. It's
Yes,
not perfect, clean data.
Yep, that's right. We track it.
So you guys know how much I love that perfect, clean data, because that job costing is the legs of the table that holds up every single decision that we make. So, and in the silent retreat, the planning retreat I did last week, I reviewed 500 to 600 jobs for the last 6 years to verify all job costing, put it in one place and find trends. So when I come up with a plan for 2026, we focus so highly on that accuracy because the plan for the entire next year is hinging on that. Do we hire another person? Do we not? What do we set our goals at? And it's a very important thing. So, okay. Best part about your coordinating position.
All right. So I'm kind of the beginning, middle, end, as Nick said. Starts with the estimates, setting that up. Then it's scope and colors. And then it's at the end, the job costing, invoicing. I really like that middle section. of once I work with the client to either adjust scope, to add exactly what they're looking for, or gain colors from these people, and I get to say, all right, you're over to scheduling. These people light up. We're about to get our home transferred. It's going to be an improvement. I got a good company I'm working with. That's the best part. Sometimes getting colors can be a little stressful because, I mean, for some reason, there's about 100 different beiges to choose from. So once that part is done, the clients are happy. Things are looking
Moving
forward.
along.
Yes.
One of the biggest friction points in our entire company is getting colors, because people will sit for months in your setup queue.
Yeah.
And one of the only tricks, we have improved the dwell time between acceptance and actually scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
We have lowered that substantially. But there is one friction point that we cannot get rid of, which is the client's ability to choose and be comfortable with the choice of a color. The choice to paint or not to paint is not nearly as stressful as the choice of what color, because a client is deathly afraid of paying someone like us a lot of money. And if they pick the wrong color, it's completely useless.
Yep.
So we get it. We got lots of color resources, but one little trick that we use is deadly simple, but not a lot of other painting companies do this, is that our project managers are the only ones that can schedule a project.
Correct.
We do not even introduce a client to the human who schedules their project until they give us a color.
Yep.
Because we can actually hold that as an incentive, which is the first question out of everybody's mouth as a client when they accept a project is, when can you start?
Correct.
And we say,
as soon as we have color selections and confirmed scope.
And we will introduce you to the person who will do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I really need it 2 weeks from now. Great. If you get me a color today, we can start on it. Yep, exactly. The quicker you get me a color, we can. And it's a hard thing to say because we want to be helpful. But at the same time, if we just scheduled, we've been on many projects where it's like, it's Friday now, we're starting Monday, we don't have a confirmed color. And now it's a disaster. And a client will never, ever give us deference for that, which is, we had a crew standing around for half a day. We need to charge for that. Like, they clutch their pearls. Like, what?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we had 5 craftspeople standing on a job waiting for you. So,
but now that we do this standard operating procedure, things run a lot smoother.
Which is another through line in what we've been learning over the last couple of years, which is building the maze in which employees and clients walk through that gives them the best experience, but doesn't give them unlimited options, because no human benefits from unlimited options for the most part, unless you're in the entrepreneurial space. But even then, it's good to be limited. So it's not that we want to think of our humans as peons that don't have any choices. It's more of like, we need to narrow down the world of you can ask for anything into how about 2 choices?
Yeah.
And those 2 choices are better for you and for us.
Definitely.
And they're going to move you forward. And as a professional company, I believe we owe that to people. So
absolutely.
Another strategy we use all the time, which is, hey, can I buy my own paint? And instead of just saying yes or no, we say, here's your 2 choices.
Yep.
Which are?
We supply the paint, or
we supply the paint. We give you full warranty.
Yeah.
Or you supply the paint and we can't guarantee color, shine.
I was making sure I was saying it right.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but then that entrepreneurial strategy of them choosing between 2 choices gives them ownership of it.
Definitely.
Again, another through line we use with employees, we use with clients, and we use with vendors sometimes too.
And it works.
Yeah. Worst part about coordination, the thing that I'm not going to judge you, the thing you look forward to the least, or the thing that it doesn't give you as much energy as other things.
Sitting behind a computer for extended periods of time.
I know this about you.
Yes, I like interacting with people. I like to get out.
Yep.
If I can get out there and interact with people and put a smile on somebody's face and get things moving forward, that's where I like to strive. Don't get me wrong, this part's great. Interacting with our team is great, but sometimes getting out, doing real world things is the way to go.
So I've always been very careful to say, I'm very careful to not say, listen, young blood, you need to suffer and martyr yourself like me before you get opportunities. But I am very careful to say opportunities are built upon mastery of what you're currently doing. Correct. So listen, let's get out there and teach you estimating. Let's do project management, but coordination is your function.
Yep.
Operations manager and marketing is my function. I'm not about to go out there and take a 1-day retreat until those functions are, I want to do the fun stuff, but I must do my obligation to this company first. And that's something that you're like, yeah, of course, let's do that. So As you've gotten this entire coordination thing down to, I don't know, it must be 15 hours a week,
give or take.
Yeah. And then we've been doing all this other fun stuff together. You've been running a street team. We've been teaching you estimating and project management. So that's been really fun. Let me see if we got questions, comments.
Yeah.
And, here we go. Monarch Painting. How do you guys set up your website to gain clicks through Google? Do you hire someone for SEO? Yeah. Larger thing here, which is I'm very careful to say immediately, if somebody wants more leads, more clicks, more views, their first instinct is to say, who can I pay to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And that should not be your first thing. Number one, if you want more traffic to your website, there's a whole bunch of free organic stuff using your effort that you can do. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, what the heck else? All these other things you can just post like crazy for free with backlinks to your website, links to your website. That alone will increase traffic to that. Upfront and honest, Google and Meta, their algorithms are black boxes. We don't control it. You can feed money into it endlessly and get nothing out of it. Over the years, I have taken Google AdWords and whatever you can feed money into Google is my least interesting, least marketing spend in the company because I can't control it. It changes all the time. We get horrible results from it. I can go to flyers, door hangers, organic meta posts, sometimes even meta ads that we can control
through ourselves.
Email marketing, newspaper ads, things that we control wholly and can track wholly.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm not going to spend any money on any of that stuff if I don't have to. And if you just want more clicks on your website, just be more present and do more organic stuff. But I have never found a way to increase spend through Google and then get
a big
beneficial
result.
And any leads like that. Like literally our email marketing has leads for 1/10 of the cost of what Google does. And it doesn't matter how much I spend, the algorithm, this and that. If you got a really thorough website, really good presence, and you leave a whole bunch of crap on social media all over the place, that drives clicks way more than money. They will absolutely find it. So, all right. Also, I've had the same web guy for 18 years. He's a local guy, and he's like us. He's a bread and butter web guy. He's like, we're going to do substantial, simple things over a long period of time to make sure you have a good website. What we're not going to do is say, hey, Nick, why don't you spend 10 grand a month and let's see what happens? Like, He's not that guy. And he's just a hardcore web developer coder who understands how the internet works, but he still doesn't know the Google algorithm. So in the end, that is what it is.
True.
Somebody named Jamie Gurman says,
what is mom doing here?
Smart strategy, speaking from someone who struggles with decision-making. Absolutely. Two choices. It's a beautiful thing.
That's right.
And what's interesting is that even to ourselves, because sometimes there's not anybody to hold entrepreneurs accountable. Sometimes I have to level set and give myself two choices.
Yeah.
Because in the absence of you don't want to get crippled by, in a world where I could do anything I want. Sometimes it's better to say, well, data and feelings tell me that these are the two most probable paths. Why don't you just pick one and try it? Instead of like, well, let's see what the next 6 months of data is like. Like, why don't you just pick one and do it, just like we did with the street team?
Yeah, and you've taught me that is just break it down a little bit. Sometimes my head will spin on a situation. I got 100 different ideas going on one thing.
Yeah.
And you break it down for me to just calm down. Just look at the most two beneficial things, see what works, what doesn't, choose one.
It's also the benefit of mentorship.
Correct.
And I have a mentor too, where you talk to me similarly like I talk to my mentor, which is like, I'm coming here, I'm like, he's like, shh, listen. And somebody who's many seasons of life past can say, I completely get it. Why don't you just start with these two? And they can whittle the world down. And it is a hack.
Yeah. You look at that, it's like, oh, okay, that's not as bad as I thought.
But when you don't, we talked about life experience and the wisdom that comes with that. And sometimes you can weigh 6 options evenly because you don't have any other data or feelings to apply to it. And it's not because you're stupid or lazy. It's because you haven't put a bunch of repetitions under your belt, just like I hadn't in the past. So all 6 may look even on paper, but a mentor can look down and say, dude, I got 30 years on you. Like, these two seem like much better ideas. Let's not even talk about it, but why don't you just pursue
We've had those scenarios together for sure.
Absolutely. So, all right, we talked about coordination duties. The last thing I'll say about that is you do something really unique, which is you participate in this Freedom Machine wholly because you will pack up your stand-up desk, your 3 monitors, you will go to your dorm room in the wilderness of northern Minnesota, and you will continue these duties
Yep.
from your dorm room. And the most interesting thing that happens is 87-year-old Bill, who wants his barn painted, will call this company.
Yep.
And he will be talking to 19-year-old Jack in a dorm room.
Way up there.
Exactly. And I say dorm room, but you guys are renting a house.
Now we are, yes.
So from this party house.
That's right. That's all we do.
Hopefully this monitor setup isn't in your party room with the disco stuff and, or the turntables. Yeah.
You don't need to know.
Listen, as long as the clients get taken care of, it's it's one of those, like, I'll just do one of these. So, but no, from a party house in a college town in northern Minnesota, you will be running $3 million of coordination for this company, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
And that is participating fully in the Freedom Machine.
Yeah. I was your first remote position.
Only remote position, probably will be the only one.
Well, Mason.
Well, Mason too. Now we'll get to. He's our guest next week, by the way. So hang tight. You're softening up the beaches for him to do the beach lighting here. So okay, so now let's talk about street team, because people have lots of questions. They're very interested in this sort of thing.
Okay.
How did the street team come about?
Yeah. So started in a few different avenues. Started with you and I talking. Wanting to run a marketing team probably before I even left for college last year. We were just ideating. Nothing really further than
leads and revenue. Like, what can we do to generate leads and revenue? Right?
What makes most sense? What are our options? Laying it out.
And the macro view of all this is in 2024, I was getting a whole bunch of economic data and data from the company that said we're really going to have to lean into marketing and sales this year. Like with the way the economy is going, and the data points I'm seeing, we need to go heavy into this. So we started ideating early.
Yeah, what makes sense?
Yeah.
It became more of all right, let's get this rolling probably in January of 25. Yeah, 2025.
Because we did some experiments, you and I, in 2024 with door hangers.
Correct.
Where we tried out some apps, we did some tracking. You laid down some production rates.
I did.
Which was one of the most interesting entrepreneurial lessons we had, which was you laid down a really good number and you're like, yeah, when we build our projections, let's just use that. It's like, Jack, you're exceptional. You can't use that number as that. I use the metaphor of me painting, which is nobody loves this more than me. I'm very impatient. I move quickly. I'm not saying other people are stupid or lazy. I'm saying I have a very developed skill over 30 years to do this. Right. You cannot take my production rate. You cannot take yours.
Yeah.
And you made some assumptions based on that. And with some mentoring, we actually got pretty close.
We did
to that.
Yeah, so, we did. Yeah. But yeah, things started kicking off January 2025 here. As simple as, how many do we need? What cities do we want to hit? How do permits work?
We started doing the funnest part of entrepreneurship, which is this is a blue ocean.
It's wide open.
Nothing exists. Let's just throw crap at the wall.
Yeah.
How many people? How many days? On foot, on scooter? What do the flyers look like? What towns? That's the fun where you take the whole world of nothing exists and we big banged it. We said, now there is something at the end of this.
Exactly. And I've sent you pictures of Mason and I in one of our college rooms rented out with a whiteboard and just ideas.
Yeah.
Just numbers, city, none of it was organized, but it was just everything everywhere.
And real quick, we'll give some background too, which is in this dorm room, you had your 3 monitors set up and we would do our one-on-ones and it would be a video meeting.
Correct.
And then here's this curly haired dude in the background and you guys got hockey posters up and he's got the headphones on. He's diligently working on homework.
Always.
And I know that he experienced the company in small stints throughout the week because he's, you talk about it. He hears the one-on-one meetings. You see the setup, the phone. He's hearing our clients call the damn dorm room. And so eventually, like he showed some interest, and then we took him on as in a similar way, which is, hey, let's do some stuff together. You guys started collaborating, and then in a similar fashion, we took Mason, who's a marketing major, and brought him in. And I've been apprenticing marketing, and you've been kind of apprenticing entrepreneurship and business. You kind of both have been cross training, but
definitely.
So anyway, next week, marketer Mason is going to be on here. So, so we started putting the street team plan together, and that's where I kind of taught you guys my way of doing ideation spreadsheets, and you picked it up very quickly.
Yes. It took on fast. Yeah, we got some partnerships with other trusted companies.
Yep.
That do phenomenal work.
And you guys brought in the collaboration thing, which I had not thought of, which is we got these great partners. You as the coordinator, when somebody says, I need a color consultant, I need a carpenter, I need a flooring guy, I need pavers
the greatest
blasted.
people ever to work
Dude,
with.
We need a handyman. You literally have this list where every single one of these people will handle these clients at least as good as we will.
Yep.
It's almost a pleasure. It almost makes us look better when we solve these problems.
Because people say, yeah, I had a guy that didn't show up for this. Oh, hold on.
Oh man,
boy, do I have something
you ever
for
heard
you?
of Ben Bryant?
Yeah, that's
he's
right.
like the greatest dude. So
That's
anyway,
right.
you guys had the idea of we should offer collaboration to these partners, and that's where you guys came up with fresh ideas where I would not have. So then we started putting the street team together. You guys recruited all your own people.
Yep.
And then I gave you guys some instructions about what it's like to be a manager, and you guys onboarded, you trained, you got a budget together for uniforms. You got the uniforms together. And
a lot of communication.
And you guys did what I do with all the painters and other people on our leadership team, which is you made something from nothing, which is now here's a team. We got to find people. We got to coordinate those humans. We have to get them in here. We have to uniform them. And then together we all trained them. So we created a standard operating procedure. We created scripts and training and priorities and KPIs. And one of the things that we used our collective wisdom on is we created, most of the SOP was how do you talk to people you meet.
And that was such a big, to me,
Dude,
that was insane just how good.
You shouldn't have had to do that, because when we all sat here ideated, a top priority for us was they're going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interactions with clients. It was more like we spent time on how to hang the door hanger, which is necessary.
Everything.
But I'm so glad that we built out this huge script portion. We had no freaking idea how many human interactions we were going to have.
And that was our biggest strength.
Huge.
My team is one of the best. They're doing great work. And I saw Jack made a comment in here too. So glad he's watching.
And I think Jack Tuma, he holds the record for the most hangers in a day.
I think he does.
He's
doing pretty good.
Yeah. And who holds the all-time hanger? You recited it at our lunch with the team yesterday.
It's probably me.
How dare you? And even if you did, you'd never take credit for that.
That's right.
You always give it to your people.
No, it was Logan. Yeah. And Logan was on here too. Yeah.
Do you remember how many?
Logan is just over 10,000.
He's put out 10,000.
And he's had a ton of interactions. And that was one of the biggest things for me is communicating with clients in the right way.
So we made scripts. We were like, okay, we taught them about this company, but we kept it simple. I mean, I'm going to go from memory, but the script is like, we ideated about maybe the 3 to 5 interactions. So imagine you're a client and you get this young, decent human being on a scooter in a beige shirt that shows up with a handful of hangers. Like, what are you doing here? And we say, I'm an employee of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company.
There you go.
We paint the inside and outsides of houses. Would you like an estimate?
You forgot a little bit, but it's okay.
What did I miss?
No, 17 years in business.
Oh, so we gave details, but
Yes.
it was more of like, so tell me about it. And remember, we had these questions of, well, what do you do?
Yes.
Well, we paint the inside and outsides of houses. Do we do this? Yeah. And eventually a client is going to ask a question that they're like, hey, can you change the color of my cabinets from this to this? And we train them to, let me get Jack on the phone right now. Because you were in a command and control point where I was watching this. We have a whole Slack channel just for our street team, and they have an SOP where every time they have an interaction, they mention it there so we can track it. When they do a zone, which you guys make on maps, they say how many they handed out. And then when there's a client that wants an estimate, they will give you name and phone number, and you are literally Johnny on the spot within 15 minutes.
Exactly. I tell his client, 15 minutes, I will have them on the phone.
And then we get them an estimate right away. And it's not there. We don't need an email address from them. We don't even need to know what they're going to do. We got to keep it simple, which is you give me your name and phone number and you're going to get a personal phone call within 15 minutes.
Correct. Yep. And this team has gotten so good that even questions on things we do or don't do, they answer on the spot now.
Yeah,
they're so good.
They're phenomenal. And so the rhythm of this street, so we've handed out, I think we've crossed the 50,000 flyer mark.
We did.
Yeah. And we have the all-time record, I think, is in the 500 in the higher 500s per day for somebody. Didn't Jackson have like something about 580?
Yeah, he had a
480?
townhome day. I think he had higher
of course, you give him a
400s.
townhome day. So I think we were approaching 500 in one day, which is
Something like
and this
that,
is
yeah.
not a 10-hour day. I mean, they're working what 9 to 2, 9 to 3.
Yeah, 7-hour day.
Yeah, so they're working, and there's lunches and there's stuff like that in there. So it's really good. We've handed over 50,000 of those out.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, I want to say, 600 human interactions, 500 human interactions.
Probably.
I'm just going from memory from our spreadsheet.
I remember. I mean, the first 2 weeks it was Jack, what's working? And I think I praised the interactions the most.
Dude, all of us stood back and said, I had no freaking idea there'd be so many human interactions. Like, there's all sorts of people just hanging around their house outside.
Yeah.
And our people pull up. And so I thought, of all the things I encountered, I did the worst case scenario thing, which is there is a snarling dog or there is somebody who is angry at you. How do you handle that?
Yeah,
and we have an SOP for that.
Yes, we do.
We've had zero of that.
Nothing.
We've had zero. What we had, which we didn't anticipate, is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful personal interactions.
And they're great. Even if people aren't looking for an estimate, though, we put the right people out there. As far as these interactions with the people are so positive, it's insane.
Most of these humans have never heard of this company, and their first interaction is with Audrey, Jack, Milo, all these little people that we got the nice button-up shirts on them. They're walking up, they're friendly, they're happy. They are the epitome of what this company is. Yes. And we proffered the brand in a beautiful way this summer. Mm-hmm. So we're tracking leads, we're tracking estimates, we're tracking completed jobs, and these things have a tail. So we'll be tracking your guys' efforts all through the winter up until next year again. And I think sometime midwinter we'll probably make the decision to do it or not. I would really love to do it, but as everything, we need an ROI.
Definitely.
It's got to pay for
itself. That comes
itself
with time
least,
and seeing people come back.
Okay, so Street Team. Any other final comments about Street Team stuff?
Nothing there. If my team's on here, I'm loving them. They're doing some great work. I don't know if they're still on. But.
Monarch Painting. Do you guys knock on the door or just hang them up?
You want me to take that?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
You're the team captain.
All right. We don't do the door knocking. Solicitors get a bad rep just right off the bat, as well as it's not something that I want our team to stand behind. I don't think it's us as a company. We're not a pressure type of company. We're there to support people and do good work. So if people are looking for an estimate, great. We're here to serve, help out, and provide. But as for, pushing, being the nosy salespeople, not something that I'm a fan of, not something that we do.
Yeah, so. You've absorbed the ethos of the company, which is there's one way to do that, which is the Andy Elliott, Grant Cardone.
That's next year.
Sort of thing where you literally stand in the doorway and it's buy or die.
Correct.
You will buy or I will die.
Yep.
Or you will die or someone will
Somebody's
die.
done.
But I ain't leaving until you buy something from me. And it's like that could be that. It's so far away from everything we stand for. There is a purpose to having intentional sales processes and not being passive and helping the clients, but we are not a high pressure. I mean, door-to-door people, I see it all over the internet. These pest control people, these cleaning things, they go there they badger humans. They're trespassing, they're banging on doors, they won't leave. It's like, what?
And I actually had an interaction like that. There was a guy that was also out, I think, doing pest control, actually.
It's always a freaking pest control.
It is. And he comes up to me and he said, you're not even door knocking? You're not doing any of this? No, we're just hammering. We're going, and we're getting results.
We're getting results.
And I watched this guy. I was kind of following him around, and I watched him just go door to door and get nothing. He didn't leave a trace of something to leave.
So he's just knocking and disappearing.
That's it. No trace, nothing, and it's just a loss of money, loss of time. So I think that's the most unproductive way you could possibly go. I think we are the
missed
most
opportunity.
Yeah. I think we're the most productive. We're getting to show our faces. Maybe we're not in it.
Well, so hey, everybody, there's going to be on Facebook, there's the full cinematic wide view because we got to get both of us. On Instagram, we did pull it up, and I think everybody's interaction is going to be different. You're either going to get portrait mode or that. And so you're just going to have to bear with it. If you guys, I will repost the full wide cinematic view later on to Instagram. But right now on Facebook, you can watch the full thing and you can see Jack's awesome face. So if you want to, if not, that's fine too.
Okay.
So, all right. Okay. So we've done coordination. We've done street team. let's talk about what you have learned about estimating and project management. So let's start with estimating.
Oof, okay.
You made a request to me
Did.
that said, I want to learn estimating, and we did. Initial impressions, surprises, questions, things that made sense, didn't make sense.
Okay. First, it was a scary thought in my mind because we're talking price, we're talking numbers. It's not something you want to mess up.
Everybody has a bunch of nervousness around money and price.
Definitely. And you want to set the company up to win.
Yep.
So that's a big deal for me. I was able to shadow you, I shadowed Ian, and I shadowed Tom. And all three of you have taught me good things and different things.
Yep. Real quick, what'd you learn from Ian that you didn't learn from other people? I'm going to ask you the same about Tom and me too.
All right, sounds good. Ian is very thorough with stuff. There is zero room for interpretation. He's very thorough on how he says things and how he puts it into the estimate as well of the wording, which I really like because once it's accepted and comes back to me, no questions.
That is something for the last 12 months we have been leaning in on so hard with non-interpretable scopes.
And it's getting better.
Yeah, it is. It's poetry. Say the biggest thing, the most meaningful thing with the smallest amount of words. That can make or break a company.
Definitely.
Is the ceiling included? Is the closet included? When it just says bedroom,
it's all right.
Is it walls or trim?
Yep.
Literally, you can make or break. A client can weaponize against you.
Oh, it's not included?
If it's not clear,
yeah.
You said bedroom. The closet's in the bedroom.
Right.
Yep.
But it's constant improvement still. With Tom, he takes a step back on things, which is very nice for me as a beginner, especially that he looks at the overview of everything. And then, all right, we're going to break it down a little bit. We're just going to look at this bedroom, slow it down, and understands the client, and I think matches their personality.
What I'm hearing is like systematic.
Correct.
Right? And you know what's really interesting? I'm glad you have a good amount of wisdom for the amount of years you've been on Earth, because Tom even self-professes to me that he tends to match the energy of the client as well.
Has he really said that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
He said those exact words.
Okay.
And when I shadow Tom and give him feedback, I see that in him. Also, one of the things that makes me like angry is that when I observe people doing their jobs, they get nervous and then they perform differently. Ian and Tom will literally say, it's the observer effect, Nick. Like, I'm not nervous, but for some reason I say different things when you're here. And It's like, you're not a horrible boss. You're not overwhelming. You're not doing things, but for some reason, that's just a human biological conditions.
Here. Yeah. It's just how it goes.
I bet you if the CEO of Sherwin-Williams or the CEO of Paint Scout came with me on estimates, I may do something different than I normally would.
Probably.
I would hope I didn't, but there's that observer effect.
Definitely.
So anyway, so you learned Ian, the very thorough and consistent between what he says and what he writes down. Tom matches the energy, very systematic, and kind of slows it down to make sure he doesn't miss anything. Was there anything different that I added to your estimating knowledge?
A little bit. You're quick with things. There's no, let's see. You stay on track the whole time. That's the thing that I like. There's no going off on this and what products and this and that. It's very simple.
I do not get sidetracked.
It's concise. And once it's done, okay, this room, good. Yep. All right, on to the next. It's very clean cut and start to finish. There's no sidetrack, like you said.
What I like about you is you had enough balls to give me a piece of feedback of something I did wrong at one of the last bunch of estimates that we went to. And I like that a lot. Do you remember what that feedback was?
Yeah, the personal part?
Yes.
So that's something.
To explain that to everybody.
That's something Nick and I see a little bit different. Is that sometimes Nick is on the point of, we're going start to finish. We are here for the painting estimate.
So I'll give him an example. This is how I open my estimates. So, oh, hey, Jim, you mentioned you wanted your cabinets painted.
Yeah.
And then what feedback? Listen to you. That works. Also, I did carry this company up to $2 million selling myself.
Yes.
Now, listen, I'm open to feedback. No, but what was your feedback to me after you saw me do that?
So on my end, I think making a more personal connection right off the bat. Very simple example. One of the first estimates that I shadowed you on, guys got a hot rod in the garage. Immediately, I'm like, ooh, that looks nice. And, don't be peeking in the garage. We're here to keep it business-like. And in a way, it could help us to not make it so businessy, as we talked about yesterday, even on the phone, doesn't have to be all business. We are human to human.
But no, that's what I like about you guys, which is when I observe Ian and Tom, and then you gave me that feedback, sometimes I can be extremely utilitarian.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's pluses and minuses.
Yep.
You can make up for potentially lack of personality with dribbling in personality along the way, being thorough and listening. But there's also, you can make up for, let's say that if you're more personal with somebody, you start off with, hey, I noticed you have a family picture on the beach. Where's the beach? Where do you guys go?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a favorite place of yours? That's not something I do naturally, because I typically cringe at a lot of small talk unless it's something that'll add value to the client.
Yep.
You can make up for, let's say that you sell less because of that. I can make up for it with a 27-minute estimate on average. I can do 13 estimates in an afternoon.
Yep.
So now that's not either good or bad. And it fits my personality.
It does.
Now, with all that feedback, it's interesting because I do not do that readily, but I definitely train my people to do it based on your feedback. That is a very valuable thing. We actually added it to the SOP, which is please attempt to be personal.
Did you really?
Yeah, awesome. I added it. So I just revised the SOP and the 1st of August because we added in the advanced estimator training.
Awesome.
We ascertain the priority, but even before that now, it's literally, I forget the word I used. It's not camaraderie, but building rapport.
Yeah.
It's building rapport. Build some rapport with these people. And you know
Yes.
what? It's really good feedback because I am there on a mission. In 27 minutes, I'm going to hand them the most beautiful estimate ever. And I will answer every question by looking them in the face and giving them an 8-word answer. And it's going to be perfect for them. I think I can make up for that lack of personality with my depth of knowledge and my joy of answering questions. They can never answer. They can never ask me anything I can't answer in a beautiful, succinct way.
You've been in business for a couple of years.
800 estimates a year for a decade. I got a few reps, right? There's nothing that a human can posit me that I can't do. Can you paint my cow? You're like, yes, if it'll stand still, I can paint it, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, that's the feedback you gave me. What other things surprised you about the estimates?
Different personalities. Just working that sometimes there's a script on things, there's ways to go about it, but at the same time, you need that human intelligence side that not everybody acts the same.
Procedure versus intelligence.
Correct.
Which is you can have your SOP and you can make a script, but when you start saying that script and that client cuts you off halfway through and asks you questions, if you keep going with your script, they're going to punch you.
Correct. It's even as simple as the estimate Tom and I went on last that one, and it's like, this isn't what I was thinking, but it's how people interact. I've never met somebody that's the same.
Yep.
And
it's really interesting. Everybody's got a different priority.
Yep.
And I started creating some avatars so that we can do advanced estimator training of types of clients and how they communicate. And one of them that I encounter very often, and it's an obvious one, which is the client that won't let you finish a sentence. And I'm trying, this isn't good or bad. I can. So it's interesting because it annoys me because to me, that comes from a place of distrust.
Definitely.
I'm not going to let you be in charge, painting estimator, because I'm afraid to get taken advantage of. And so I need to make sure that I lead you in the right direction so this doesn't go sideways. That makes me irrationally angry because we are the most trustworthy company this person will ever come into contact with. However, I understand that they don't know that.
Right.
And they may not know that yet. So what's interesting is when I developed, I call it avatar number 3 of the cut you off person. Mm-hmm. It's very hard for me to take a back seat to that, but it's a switch I can switch on now where it says, if this person won't let you finish a sentence, what you'll do is let them talk as long as they want, give an abnormal amount of silence, maybe even 1.5 seconds and 2 seconds to make sure they don't have anything else to say, and then ask them a 3-word question.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing that, you can see their tension release, and it's that you're prompting them to give input and guide this thing. And one of the things we always talk about is never the hero, always the guide.
Definitely.
Right? You're not Luke Skywalker, you're Yoda. You're sitting there giving wise words of wisdom, but letting that person come to their own hero's journey and conclusion. So that's something we focused on a lot. Does anything not make sense? Or is there something so beautiful that we do, so beautiful and simple and effective?
Just the ownership of the company. It's very beautiful. I wouldn't say nothing or doesn't make sense. Just the constant improvement part of maybe things don't make sense out of an idea, but it's always okay. Let's edit it. No, but that's just how we operate things.
And we don't change our SOP all the time. We do deep research. We think about it for 6 months. We test things out. I get out in the field.
Yeah.
When we started asking priorities, we tested it out, and immediately it was like, God dang, that was great.
And if it didn't work, we wouldn't have done it.
And then if we came back, if it was a disaster, we would have laughed and said, well, we're never going to do that again.
But it was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. Now we know it was a scientific experiment, and now we move on. And we've done that with 3 portions of the estimate. Every estimate has 3 parts. We're trying to add something. We're adding 2 things to the front. We'll probably add 2 things to the end, including a soft close. That is now all into effect, but we've carefully considered. We've read books. We've talked to our friends. And now we know when things fit and when they don't fit. So we've made a big improvement to the
collaboration's been great.
Yep. And you've been there when I've physically tested out.
Yeah.
I've done new things. And I even self-profess to you that because I've been on a script for 8,000 times, it was very difficult for me to be present and actually think about the SOP and insert those things. Like when we first tested out priority, asking what the client's priority was, and then literally writing it on the estimate, I almost walked out of that first estimate with you without asking. And then for some reason, a lightning bolt hit me and I asked it. I was like, oh my God,
thank God.
I came out here to do one thing and I almost didn't do it. Like that would have been embarrassing.
New.
Yeah,
it's new.
But you witnessed somebody, a 33-year veteran who's got 8,000 repetitions, have to try something new. And that's the ethos of this company.
Yes.
Which is nobody's above that.
Yes. Yeah. It works out great.
You want to talk about project management?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tell me about project management.
All right. You want the upfront and
I want one sentence to describe your experience with project management. Go back.
All right. Whew. One good sentence to describe it here. I got some words to describe it. Very unique, scary, but exciting.
Yeah.
That's how I'd put it. Because, well, you know me since I walked in the doors. What's next? What's new? Let's do something.
And to a point where it's like, that's all built upon mastery of your contributions to the company, which you've done. Yeah. And then so you've had these magical opportunities.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
But there's things that don't always go right, whether it's a company thing or whether it's a client thing. Mm-hmm. And learning how to understand that and improve upon it is something that I definitely struggle with, and you and I probably talk about that the most.
Yeah,
for how you mentor me.
If there's one thing that bugs our people out and slows this company down, it's the subjective, irrational, custom asks or priorities or restrictions that clients put on us. And I see Wendy Anderson watching, one of our favorite clients. I see other clients watching here. I want all of my wonderful clients to hear this, which is, we love you more than anything else. We understand why you want to control this process and say, I want to buy the paint because I don't trust contractors. Mm-hmm. The problem is we're the most trustworthy entity you'll ever come into contact with. I understand that you may not know that. And I understand why you make all these restrictions and asks and custom things because you're afraid of being taken advantage of.
Definitely.
The problem is it causes you, Jack, you sit in the office and you see what some of these irrational asks do to this company. Like restrictions on time we can be there. Getting angry that we take the time we need. We tell you it's going to be 7 days. It took 7.5. And next thing you know, we got a nuclear client.
And it's done right.
And it's done wonderful. And we actually invested more time and money into this than we estimated.
Without charging you.
Without charging you more because it's what we do. And now you're angry because of it. And so now we're given these, this is every business, by the way. We just experience so little of this compared to other businesses.
We do.
But you are bearing witness to the difficulties of any relationship, which is humans are subjective and squishy and irrational, and they don't make a lot of data-based feelings that would benefit themselves, at least in our opinion. This is not saying they're stupid. This is me saying a client. I mean, I'm going to share this. This is fresh with us yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You and I got on the phone with a client that we did a very small job for them. And
really good work, though. Everything was done perfect.
Insanely small job.
Mm-hmm.
Client loved the work. They loved the experience. Every single human they did.
Yep.
They wanted to pay with a credit card. You added the 3% fee, which is in the contract, which they signed. And what did they tell us?
Well, they were very upset with me for putting the 3%
upset.
fee on there, and we don't get the 3% fee.
What did this person tell you to do? Remove me from your email list.
There we go. Yes.
Remove me from your database.
I don't want to hear from you guys again.
Never contact me again.
Yep.
And the vitriol coming out of their voice on the front page of their estimate, it's in our contract, but we call out. There's only about 6 or 7 things that we call out specifically on the front of the estimate because they're so important and we want to be so upfront and honest, is that nobody is getting charged this 3%, which is normal nowadays. You charge everybody 3% and then get a discount if you don't.
Yeah.
We don't charge you that, but if you want to pay with a credit card, we add 3% because we get charged 3%.
Correct.
It's literally just passing along that. We will process your credit card in a trustworthy way. We'll take care of your electronic estimate. We have the ability to accept credit cards.
Yep.
Most contractors don't do this.
And we're upfront at first before they can accept
it. and we don't even tack it on. This person said, we want to do this. And we said, we will add 3%. And then that person went wild. We also told them that cash or check is free. There's no added fee. And also, I reached out to the client with you and said, we can even take an ACH. That cost me 1 to 1.5%, and I will eat that cost. Mm-hmm. That person, same response.
Yep.
So again, this is the education that I wanted to teach Jack, which is you can do everything right. These people can love you to death. And in the end, for something like that, somebody will call you the devil. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I've hardened my emotions to this sort of thing, which is I realized after so many repetitions with humans that this has nothing to do with us.
No, it goes back to where you need to adjust the script. Everybody's different who you interact with.
You've seen people in this company that have a completely normal human reaction, which is, what did I do wrong? What could I have done wrong? I feel so horrible. I'm losing sleep over this.
Employees.
Everybody. Yeah. And it's like, I love this team because they do that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I have so much repetition here. I've got an insight into some of these people's lives, and you realize that this has nothing to do with this. Their dog died. They're going through a divorce. There's their kids are having some difficulties in school with friends. And it's like this externality affects them, and then they act out to other people. We have empathy towards that. We're fine. I don't take this personally. I wish this person would have reacted differently, but they didn't. Mm-hmm. And if they led with kindness, you've seen us moderate our response to people. When people lead with jabbing us with their sword, we typically then stand there and say, okay, if that's the stance you're going to take, I need to stand up for my people, and we're going to do this. When people meet us with empathy, you've seen me, for no reason, meet them with empathy. Absolutely. Again, and then moderate and give them things that we should not have to. But because they led with empathy, we now reciprocate with empathy. And hey, there's no reason we have to do this other room for you. You asked to add it onto your estimate. But for whatever reason, you're the kindest person on earth. Why don't we just split the cost of it?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
But we don't do that to Credit Card Man because he led with, I hate you. I hate everything.
Right away.
This is an experience. This is a small thing that does not upset us for the most part, but it is something where I did not have these experiences. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have this education with real life adults. And you realize that this has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. You can't take it personally. And it's your decision tree. It is. Remember, we gave him 2 options. If you don't want to pay that, there's actually 2 or 3 other options you can do.
Absolutely.
And if he said, I have a check, but I ain't going to mail it, I want you to pick it up, what would I have said?
I'll be there today.
Jack's driving to your house right now.
But instead, anybody.
Yeah, instead. So this is the education that I'm so glad Jack got. And now we say this because you've managed some projects.
Yep, 3 of them.
How'd they gone?
2 of them went okay.
Yep.
1 of them is going fantastic. Yep. And my 3rd one has been my best one because of the repetition I've gotten. So
you've iterated in 3 positions, in 3 options, where now you've already learned. And the wonderful side note, again, I hate to give you a compliment to your face, but one of the things that you do is I tell you to do something. I tell you to be careful of something. Mm-hmm. I tell you to observe something or keep it in the back of your mind. you do, and then you do something with that.
Mhm.
And so you quickly iterated from those first things where you had a project where you did everything right. The company did everything right. The color was not exactly what the client wanted, even though they approved it.
Correct.
And in the end, we had a very interesting experience where you have a lot of me in you, which is injustice unseats you.
Yeah, guys, I did everything right.
You did everything
What are you
right.
talking
So
about?
you were literally putting on your battle armor, your flak vest, and you were headed over to this client's house to wave the contract in their face and say, I did my job right. And I literally grabbed you by the back of the neck and I said, Jesus, Jack, you will not do that to our beloved clients. And you were literally just like buzzing in your chair.
But Nick, I did it right.
Per our standard, you did this on this date, and I think, Jack, listen, I get you, man. I have that same scales of injustice. But I said, you need to trust me on this. I'm going to show you what will happen. This is not going to feel immediately satisfactory.
It didn't.
We did something, and it literally could not have turned out better.
Great.
And we led with empathy. We led with grace.
Mm-hmm.
I even offered them something.
You did.
There is no reason we should ever offer them something. We did our job right. We did everything right. In the end, I offered them something for free. They actually declined it, took ownership of it, and then we moved on.
That was it.
And in the end, you were about to jab this person with a sword, and we took a little bit longer route, sort of way around it. And in the end, it was literally better for us and them.
Yeah, it worked out.
I'm glad you got that experience, and I'm glad you reacted that way. I'm glad that you watched me work through the empathetic resolution. I'm glad that we had that experience together because you will never forget that.
Right. And the best part of it, when I go back up to college here next week, I mean, I'm going to lean into you for needing some help on things, but I've been through this stuff. I know what to expect.
But think about now, that is what I love about this painting company. Like, yes, we color houses for a living, but you can apply what you and I did with that job to a personal relationship, to a professor, to a roommate, to a,
you said that yesterday with me.
Oh my God. You can,
this is way bigger than business.
This is a system for doing everything. So eventually, if anybody will ever marry you, you'll get that. Eventually, when you settle down with a spouse, if anybody can put up with you, Lord knows, I found the one human on earth that will ever put up with me.
That's right.
Hopefully you find that one person for you. Yep. But you can imagine this scenario, Jack, when you're dealing with your significant other and your kids and your things like this. So it's a big thing. And that is the decent human being theory. That is what this company was built for. Yes, we paint some houses, and my what I really want to do is offer the experience that you've had here to everybody here. Most people don't take me up on that. You do, and I'm glad you get that experience. So
absolutely. Yeah. There's not many that do, and I don't know why.
The freedom machine is a wonderful thing. It can provide many things that you can't find anywhere else. So you've had a great bunch of jobs to manage. I keep telling you, I literally couldn't have crafted a better series of tests and trials through that. Yeah. Our clients gave you every single possible thing that you could deal with, including, we don't work on Fridays. A frantic call from Jack on a Friday.
7 in the morning.
We got a subcontractor working, and you never call me. You
No.
literally never call me. I think I've got 4 calls from you ever.
Probably.
You called me on a Friday, and I know what that means. Jack's managing his first project.
Yes,
I bet you he needs some assistance.
And I did.
And I heard your voice on the phone, and you were like, what's interesting is that you were not scared. You were concerned for the client and the relationship. And you have firsthand experience with how clients react to things. Mm-hmm. And you know that this could go small claims court.
Definitely.
If we were jerks.
Definitely. And
you headed it off, we did it, and everything was fine. Yep. So it was such a great experience for you with that. So
it was great. Yeah. I wanted to do it right and needed a hand, and we got it squared away.
We've talked about coordination. We've talked about origin story. We've talked about project management. We've talked about estimating. You're going to go back to college next week. You're going to be studying entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. You're 19. What advice would you have for other people who are in high school or college who feel this similar existential angst to get out and do stuff?
Oh, that's easy. Connections. Easily connections. Freshman in college here, it was, you're taking general courses, and like Nick said, him and I are very similar, where what's next? Let's get out in the world. I've done all the general stuff in high school and didn't really want to do that during college. And I got involved in the sales club and entrepreneurship club, and the connections I've made, the places that I've been able to go, people I've gotten to meet, talk with. In fact, it's very, very close to confirm that you are going to be coming up to Duluth. And I got
speaking gig, baby.
Yeah, I got him a spot to come and present for us, because who better than somebody that's been through it all over here? So yeah, I would say, especially people my age here, connections easily. I've met some good people, a little bit older than me, especially, that have been through this stuff. And I just got lucky that Nick offered up the small business management class and came across as a mentor for business, personal, and we just keep it rolling.
Keep it going, and we've only scratched the surface.
That's right.
This is the first summer where because you've had 2 summers with us now.
Yeah,
right?
I've been here almost 2 years.
And you've basically only done coordination duties and some random tasks last year, right? We really didn't lean into estimating and project management. Really. So this year, because you've proven yourself, we've taken this nice arc of like, great, you master your duties. Mm-hmm. I even told you, build your bandwidth. Mm-hmm. If you can get all your crap done in 15 hours, I'll fill the rest of the 35. Yeah. And we did. And we systematically checked off everything. The last thing we do that I have for you to do is a mock estimate that hopefully I can do before you go back to college next week, where you actually then talk and I react to it and give you feedback so you can start processing that. So hopefully next year we can keep rolling with that too. So, yeah. Okay, Jack, you're awesome, man. Appreciate you being here, and love that we know each other, and we've only scratched the surface of what's possible with all of this stuff. So looking forward to next week. Marketer Mason, Jack's dorm mate.
That's right.
That we tricked into joining us in the
company.
I
didn't tell him everything right away.
Now that he's in, he's good. But we're going to be sending both you guys up with 3 monitor setups and stand-up desks.
Oh, you'll get the photos.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome. And these guys are going to continue. Mason's going to continue apprenticing with me under marketing. Jack's going to continue with the entrepreneurship, the management, the estimating, the project management, and it's going to be great. Last thing is Jay from Paintsmiths. Beloved Jay commented, everybody needs a Jack at their company. Jay, we freaking love Jay.
Yeah,
Jay came to us with a bunch of painting experience, worked with us. We taught him our standard operating. Jay's an awesome master craftsperson, but we kind of laid upon him the standard operating procedures that I developed. He worked here for a number of years and then started his own business. And now we partner together on projects. And that's literally the awesome. Decent human being theory of now Jay, owner of Paintsmiths, a painting company in Minnesota, he interacts with Jack.
I saw him twice last week, 2 weeks ago, and we had great interaction and great partnership.
Now our employees certainly get the treat of working with all these awesome human beings, but even our subcontractors, other paint businesses, project managers, estimators, coordinator, and me, we are their team as well too. And Jay, can't appreciate our partnership enough. You do awesome work, man. And it's super humbling what you're out there doing. So, all right, everybody, that's Ask a Painter Live. This is an awesome show. Appreciate Jack. Appreciate everything we're doing. And we've only scratched the surface. We have an entire DOGE plan for these guys for winter that we may or may not talk about next week. And they have the next plan, because we're not going to be doing street team stuff in winter. They have a plan to create revenue for the company, and we're going to see what they can do this winter. So, all right, everybody, appreciate you. Have a good rest of the Friday.